Nebula's breath, the emergency lights of Helix 9 station pulsed like a failing heartbeat, casting crimson shadows across Aya's crumpled form. 6 days had passed since the quantum storm had torn through the research outpost, leaving her the sole survivor amid twisted metal and silent corridors. Her breathing came shallow now, oxygen thinning, as the life support systems struggled to maintain even the most basic functions. "This is xenobiologist Aya Nader," she whispered into her damaged cum unit, day 6 after the anomaly. "I think this will be my final log." The pain in her leg had dulled to a dangerous numbness, and the stars beyond the observation dome seemed to blur and dance, teasing her with their cold, distant light. She closed her eyes, surrendering to the inevitable. That's when she heard footsteps, impossibly gentle, tapping against the metal flooring. "Hallucinations already," Aya murmured. "Oxygen must be lower than I thought." Not a hallucination came, a soft voice with an accent she couldn't place. "Though I've been called worse." Aya forced her eyes open, wincing against the effort. A man stood before her, tall and elegant in simple gray clothing that seemed to shimmer with subtle iridescence. His features were striking sharp cheekbones, eyes so dark they reflected the stars, and skin that held an unusual bluish undertone. He carried a steaming container that filled the stale air with an aroma of herbs and something else, something not quite terrestrial. "Dr. Chen," he said with a slight bow, "Chief Medical Officer of Helix 9, or I was. Before being reassigned to the lower laboratories 3 years ago," Aya tried to push herself upright, confusion warring with suspicion. "That's impossible. I reviewed all personnel files before my assignment." There was no Dr. Chen. The man smiled, the expression warming his severe features. "Some records are kept, selectively classified, especially when one's research methods become unconventional." He knelt beside her, uncapping the container. "You have a compound fracture of the tibia, internal bleeding, an early-stage radiation poisoning. How could you have survived the quantum storm?" Aya asked, voice weak but scientific curiosity undiminished. Dr. Chen stirred the contents of his container, releasing more of that strange, enticing aroma. "My laboratory is shielded in ways the rest of the station is not." He offered her a spoonful of what appeared to be a thick, purple-tinted broth. "This will help with the pain and begin cellular repair." Aya eyed it skeptically. "What is it?" "A remedy created from elements found in the heart of dying stars," he said matter-of-factly. "The nebula surrounding this station has unique properties. I've spent years studying them against better judgment." Aya accepted the spoonful. The liquid was warm but not hot, tasting of something between honey and ozone, with undertones of minerals she couldn't identify. Almost immediately, a pleasant warmth spread through her limbs. "Why did no one tell me about you?" she asked, already feeling strength returning to her voice. Dr. Chen's expression darkened momentarily. "Corporate science values predictable outcomes, not cosmic mysteries." He offered another spoonful. "I listen to what dying stars whisper. It makes people uncomfortable." Aya should have dismissed him as delusional, but the evidence of his remedy's effectiveness was already coursing through her body, dulling pain and clearing her foggy thoughts. "The station will fail completely within 48 hours, she said, her scientific mind calculating their odds. "Then we have work to do," Dr. Chen replied, helping her to stand. As her weight shifted to her injured leg, Aya was astonished to feel it partially supporting her. "My laboratory has independent systems. We'll be safe there while you heal." As they made their slow way through the darkened corridors, Aya couldn't help but notice how Dr. Chen seemed to glow faintly in the darkness, as though reflecting starlight that wasn't there. "Why help me?" she asked, as they paused for her to catch her breath. He studied her for a long moment, his dark eyes unreadable. "The stars told me you're important," he said finally. "And in my experience, the stars are never wrong." Aya would have laughed if she had the strength. Instead, she leaned more heavily against him, breathing in his strange scent of ozone and something like cinnamon. "Important to what?" she whispered. Dr. Chen smiled enigmatically. "That," he said, "is what we're going to find out." Stardust Memories. Dr. Chen's laboratory was unlike anything Aya had ever seen in her 15 years of space exploration. The circular chamber was nestled deep within an unused section of Helix 9. Its walls lined with containers of swirling luminescent substances that cast the room in a gentle, pulsing glow. At the center stood what appeared to be an antique telescope. Though its components were clearly modified with technology she didn't recognize, "This isn't standard Federation equipment," Aya observed, as Dr. Chen helped her settle onto a cushioned examination table. The pain in her leg had subsided to a dull throb, but weakness still permeated her body. "No," he agreed, adjusting something on a nearby console. "Most of it, I designed myself." Aya watched as he moved about the laboratory with practiced grace. "How long have you really been on Helix 9? Dr. Chen paused, considering the question. "Longer than the station records indicate," he said finally. "I was here before it was even called Helix 9. "That's impossible," Aya frowned. "This station was commissioned only 12 years ago." He smiled that enigmatic smile again. "The corporation simply built around what was already here." His hands worked methodically, preparing another batch of the strange purple broth. "I've been studying this particular nebula for nearly 3 decades, but you don't look older than 40, Aya said, studying his features more carefully. "Time moves differently when you spend it listening to stars," he replied cryptically. As he brought the broth to her, their fingers brushed, and Aya felt a strange tingling sensation race up her arm. "What are you really?" she whispered. Dr. Chen sat beside her, his dark eyes reflecting pinpoints of light like a personal galaxy. "I am human, just like you," he said softly. "But changed by my work, by my communion with dying stars." He gestured to the telescope-like device. "That instrument allows me to hear their final words." "Stars don't speak," Aya said, though her scientific certainty wavered in his presence. "They do," Dr. Chen insisted gently. "Not in language as we understand it, but in patterns of energy, in quantum fluctuations that carry echoes of everything they've witnessed across billions of years." His expression grew distant. "When a star dies, it releases not just matter and energy, but information, stories of worlds and civilizations it has nurtured, secrets about the fabric of reality itself." Despite her skepticism, Aya found herself drawn to his words, to the passion evident in his voice. She sipped the broth, feeling its warmth spread through her. "3 nights ago," Dr. Chen continued, "a star on the edge of this nebula collapsed. In its final moments, it spoke of you." Aya nearly choked on the broth. "Of me? That's absurd." "It spoke of a woman with experimental nanites in her bloodstream. Nanites designed to adapt to cosmic radiation." His gaze was penetrating now, seeing through her. "Nanites that would either kill her or transform her into something new." Aya's heart raced. Her classified research, how could he possibly know? "That information is restricted to the highest levels of the Federation Science Division. Stars don't respect security clearances," Dr. Chen said with a small smile. "The dying star showed me what you carry within you, and it showed me that the quantum storm wasn't an accident. It was a catalyst." Aya set down the broth, suddenly wary. "A catalyst for what?" Instead of answering directly, Dr. Chen moved to a control panel and dimmed the laboratory lights. Then he held out his hand, palm up. Slowly, points of light began to gather above his skin, swirling into a miniature galaxy that rotated gently. "For this," he said quietly. "For communication with the cosmos itself." Aya stared, mesmerized by the perfect replica of their galactic sector hovering above his hand. "How are you doing that?" "The same way you'll be able to soon," he replied. "The nanites in your system were designed to interface with cosmic radiation. But their creators didn't understand what that truly means. They thought they were creating better astronauts, more resilient explorers." His eyes met hers. "Instead, they were creating bridges between humanity and the stars," as if in response to his words. Aya felt a strange sensation beneath her skin, a gentle tingling, like carbonation in her veins. Looking down, she gasped. Through her skin, she could see tiny points of purple light moving through her bloodstream. "The nanites," she whispered. "They're activating." Dr. Chen nodded, his expression serious. "The broth I've been giving you contains elements that accelerate the process. Elements harvested from stellar remnants you've been experimenting on me." Aya tried to stand, anger flaring, but dizziness overtook her, and she sank back onto the table. "No," Dr. Chen said firmly, taking her hand. Where their skin touched, light danced between them. I've been saving you. The nanites were already killing you. The quantum storm damaged their containment protocols. Without intervention, they would have torn you apart at the cellular level. Aya wanted to pull away. But the connection between them felt necessary somehow, like breathing. Why would the stars care about me? About these nanites? Dr. Chen's voice softened. Because they've been waiting for someone who could hear them. Someone besides me. His thumb traced gentle circles on her wrist. Each movement, leaving trails of light that lingered before fading. Do you know how lonely it is to be the only one who can hear the universe singing? Despite her fear and confusion, Aya felt a pull toward him that transcended physical attraction. It was as if something within her recognized something within him. Two rare elements destined to form an unknown compound. I never asked for this, she said quietly. Neither did I. Dr. Chun's smile held a trace of sadness. But the stars chose both of us anyway before Aya could respond. An alarm blared through the laboratory. Dr. Chen rushed to a monitor. What's happening? Aya asked, struggling to sit upright. His expression hardened. We have company. A Federation recovery vessel has docked at the station. He turned to her, suddenly urgent. They're not here to rescue survivors, Aya. They're here for you, for what you're becoming. Celestial rhythm, the tremor of heavy boots echoed through Helix 9's corridors. Growing louder with each passing moment, Dr. Chen moved with surprising speed. Securing equipment and accessing a hidden panel in the laboratory wall. How do you know they're not here to help? Aya asked, struggling to stand on her strengthening but still unstable legs. The purple light beneath her skin pulsed in rhythm with her accelerated heartbeat. Because I recognize the signature of their ship, Dr. Chen replied grimly. It belongs to Commander Rena, head of the Federation's Biological Augmentation Division. Aya felt a chill. Aria Rena. But she's my project supervisor and the architect of the nanite program, Dr. Chen confirmed, revealing a narrow passage behind the wall panel. She's been searching for a breakthrough like you for decades before Aya could process this revelation. The laboratory door shuddered under a heavy impact. Dr. Chen, a commanding female voice called from the corridor. We know you're harboring xenobiologist Nader. Open this door immediately, Dr. Chen took Aya's arm gently. We need to leave. Now wait, Aya pulled back. I need to know, why does Rena want me? What's really happening to me? Dr. Chen's expression softened, despite the urgency of the moment. The nanites aren't just adapting to cosmic radiation. They're creating a symbiosis between your consciousness and the quantum field that permeates the universe. The same field that carries the voices of stars. The laboratory door groaned as something heavy slammed against it. You're becoming a living conduit, Aya, he continued quickly. A human capable of direct communication with celestial bodies and, potentially, control over their energy. Rena doesn't want to rescue you. She wants to weaponize you. The door buckled inward with a screech of protesting metal. Final warning, Chen Commander Rena's voice had hardened. Remember what happened the last time you defied me? Dr. Chen's eyes flickered with an emotion Aya couldn't quite identify. Pain. Perhaps her old anger. Without further hesitation, he guided her into the passage and sealed it behind them. The hidden corridor led them through the skeletal framework of Helix 9's maintenance system. A maze of narrow shafts barely illuminated by emergency lighting. As they moved, Aya noticed that Dr. Chen seemed to emit a faint luminescence that helped guide their way. You've prepared for this, she observed, ducking beneath a low-hanging conduit. I've learned to anticipate Rena's persistence, he replied. We're heading for my ship. You have a ship? Aya asked, surprised. Dr. Chen smiled over his shoulder. Did you think I collected stellar elements using the station's standard shuttles? They reached a small airlock nestled in an unused docking bay. Here we are. The vessel beyond was unlike any ship Aya had encountered. Sleek and organic in design, it resembled a teardrop fashioned from opalescent metal that shifted colors as she gazed upon it. It's beautiful, she breathed. And nearly undetectable to Federation sensors, Dr. Chen added, helping her aboard. The interior was surprisingly spacious. With walls that curved gracefully into a cockpit dominated by crystalline control interfaces, the hull is infused with particles from the event horizon of a collapsed neutron star, as Aya settled into a contoured seat. Dr. Chen activated the ship's systems with a series of light touches. The vessel awakened with a gentle hum that she felt more than heard. "Where are we going?" she asked as they detached from the station with barely a tremor. "Somewhere Rena won't think to look," he replied. A sanctuary moon in the shadow of the nebula's eastern arm, as they accelerated away from Helix -9. Aya caught a glimpse of a Federation cruiser docked at the main hub sleek, predatory and bristling with weapons that seemed excessive for a rescue mission. "You saved my life," she said quietly, watching the station recede. "Why risk everything for me?" Dr. Chen's hands moved gracefully over the controls before he turned to face her. In the soft light of the cockpit, the subtle blue undertone of his skin was more pronounced, almost luminous. "Because 20 years ago I was like you," he said. "My body changed by stellar radiation, my mind opening to voices others couldn't hear." His eyes held hers. "And Rena found me first. What did she do to you?" Aya asked, sensing the weight of unspoken trauma. "She tried to make me a weapon," he answered simply. "When I refused, she kept me in isolation for 5 years, studying how my body had changed." His gaze dropped momentarily. "I escaped during a transfer to a new facility and have been hiding in plain sight ever since." Aya felt a surge of anger on his behalf, followed by concern about her own fate. Looking down, she noticed the purple light beneath her skin had intensified, tracing patterns along her veins like bioluminescent rivers. "Am I becoming like you?" she asked. "Similar, but not identical," Dr. Chen explained. "My transformation was accidental, gradual. Yours is by design, accelerated by the nanites." He hesitated before adding, "and potentially more complete." The ship entered the nebula's outer boundary, colorful gases swirling around them like an artist's palette brought to life. The view was breathtaking, but Aya barely noticed as another wave of tingling energy coursed through her body. "It's happening faster now," she gasped, watching in fascination as her fingertips began to emit a soft purple glow. Dr. Chen moved to her side, taking her glowing hand in his. Where they touched, their lights intermingled, his subtle blue merging with her vibrant purple to create a stunning indigo. "Your body is adjusting to its new capabilities," he said softly. "I can help guide you through the process." Their joined hands cast dancing shadows across the cockpit. The sensation of their touching was unlike anything Aya had experienced, as if their energies recognized each other. "I'm afraid," she admitted, her voice barely audible. Dr. Chen's free hand gently lifted her chin until their eyes met. "Fear is natural when facing the unknown, but you're not facing it alone." The intensity of his gaze made her breath catch. In that moment, the ship, the pursuit, even the transformation of her body seemed secondary to the connection forming between them. Bond, transcending ordinary human experience. "We'll reach the sanctuary moon in approximately 6 hours," he said, his voice lower than before. "Until then, let me show you how to listen to what the stars are saying." As the ship glided deeper into the nebula's embrace, Dr. Chen began Aya's first lesson in cosmic communion, his hands guiding hers. Their energies intertwining, and the boundaries between them growing ever more nebulous. Like the cosmic dust surrounding their vessel, Aurora's song, the sanctuary moon orbited a gas giant on the nebula's edge, its surface dotted with crystalline formations that amplified stellar frequencies. For 3 weeks, Aya and Dr. Chen lived in his hidden dwelling, carved into an amethyst cliff face, safe from Commander Rena's relentless pursuit. "Focus on the red giant at the nebula's core," Dr. Chen instructed, as they sat beneath the transparent dome of his meditation chamber. "Feel its rhythm." Aya's transformation had accelerated dramatically. Her skin now permanently shimmered with purple luminescence, and when she closed her eyes, she could perceive the energy signatures of distant stars. "I can hear it," she whispered in wonder. "It's singing." Dr. Chen smiled, the blue glow of his skin intensifying with pleasure. Each star has its own voice. Their daily lessons had brought them closer, physically and metaphysically. Their hands found each other naturally now, their energies blending in, a dance of indigo light. The nanites have fully integrated with your cellular structure, explained one evening as they shared a meal of synthesized proteins enhanced with stellar elements. Soon, you'll be able to do more than just listen to the cosmos. Like what? Aya asked, distracted by the way the light pulsed beneath his skin when he looked at her. Influence stellar energy. Perhaps even redirected. His voice grew serious. It's why Rena wants you that night. As twin moons rose over the crystalline landscape, their relationship transformed as inevitably as Aya's body had. Their first kiss released cascades of light that spiraled around them, their energies recognizing each other on a quantum level. I've waited lifetimes to find someone who understands, Dr. Chen murmured against her lips. Their bodies merged in a symphony of light and sensation, purple and blue energies weaving together in patterns that mirrored the nebula above them. For precious hours, they forgot about pursuit and danger, lost in a connection that transcended physical intimacy. Afterward, lying in each other's arms, Aya finally asked the question she'd been avoiding. What happens when my transformation is complete? Dr. Chen's expression clouded. You may have to choose between remaining in physical form or ascending to a higher state of energy before she could respond. Proximity alarms shattered their peace. Rena Dr. Chen confirmed grimly, checking the sensors. And she's brought reinforcements. Constellation of Forever Federation ships darkened the sanctuary moon sky as Dr. Chen and Aya raced toward his vessel. Their brief idyll had ended with brutal suddenness. Their weapons are locked on the ship, Aya warned, her enhanced senses detecting the energy buildup. There's another way, Dr. Chen guided her toward. A crystalline formation, resembling a natural archway. A quantum gateway. I've been studying behind them. Commander Rena's amplified voice echoed across the crystalline landscape. Dr. Chen, surrender xenobiologist Nader immediately. Her transformation has reached critical levels. Aya felt a sudden spike of pain as the nanites in her body reacted to something in the atmosphere. Purple light erupted from her skin in pulsing waves. What's happening to me? She gasped, falling to her knees. Dr. Chen knelt beside her, his expression anguished. They're using harmonic destabilizers to accelerate your transformation. His hands cradled her face. They're forcing your ascension. Aya could feel herself becoming less solid, her consciousness expanding beyond the boundaries of her physical form. I can't stop it. There is one possibility, Dr. Chen's voice wavered. A synchronistic ascension. Together understanding dawned in Aya's eyes. You would leave your physical form? For me? With you? He corrected softly. We would exist together in a state beyond matter. Commander Rena appeared at the ridge above them, flanked by soldiers carrying specialized containment equipment. Step away from her, Chen. You know what happens next is inevitable. Dr. Chen's gaze never left Aya's face. What happens next is our choice. His hands found hers, blue light intertwining with purple. Do you trust me? In answer, Aya pulled him close, their lips meeting in a final physical kiss as their energies began to merge completely. The crystal arch above them resonated with their combined frequency, creating a gateway to something beyond normal space-time. No, Commander Rena shouted, realizing their intention. But it was too late. In a brilliant flash of indigo light, Dr. Chen and Aya's physical forms dissolved, their consciousnesses merging with the quantum field while maintaining their individual essences, a new form of existence. Neither fully human nor purely energy, Commander Rena stared in disbelief as the light coalesced into a pulsing indigo star that rose skyward, leaving the sanctuary moon behind. Months later, astronomers across the galaxy reported a phenomenon. Never before recorded a binary star system that appeared suddenly in the nebula. One purple, one blue, orbiting each other in perfect harmony. Their combined radiation healing dying stars rather than weaponizing them. And in the quiet moments between stellar movements, those sensitive to cosmic frequencies sometimes heard what sounded like lovers' whispers carried on solar winds. As Dr. Chen and Aya danced their eternal constellation of forever across the canvas of space,